How's it going, everyone? This is Kevin. Today I want to bring you along with me to talk about an alternative to Adobe Photoshop software, which is called Affinity Photo. So let's jump right into it. The first thing that I want to cover about Affinity Photo is that it's a one-time fee software. Whether you get it for your iPad or for your desktop or MacBook, it is a one-time fee, no recurring fee, how Adobe has. So that's something that I think is very useful to know when it comes down to this alternative for Adobe Photoshop. The cool thing about it is that it actually runs on an iPad very smoothly, like if it was a desktop Photoshop. So in a bit, when I give you the example, when we jump into my iPad and show you the app and the layout and everything, I'm going to show you how it is very much like a traditional Photoshop software that would be on a desktop. So that's what I think this software itself is very cool for what you're getting and for the price point. Which, with that said, I got it for $10 because it was a 50% off sale when it was for Black Friday. So I think like the normal price point might be $20, I think. But more than likely you can get it still for $10 if you go to their website, which I'll leave in the description down below. As well, you can get it for the desktop, which you're going to have to buy it twice technically because it is a license only for either your iPad when you buy it through the App Store, or if you get it for your MacBook Pro or a PC, you would have to buy it each time. But if you make the math, it's still a lot cheaper than having to pay the monthly fee that you would with Adobe Photoshop. So you give and take, but that's something really cool to me. So we're going to get with the technicality of it, and we're going to jump into the iPad, and I'm going to do a little quick walkthrough about what this app does and what it has so that you can see for yourself how great it is for what you're getting. I'm only going to be doing the iPad version today just because it's really cool that you can use it on an iPad, so you can already see what it's going to be like in a desktop version as well, because they're fairly similar. There's only like minor things here and there that you would do better on a desktop, but for the sake of this video, we're only going to keep it to the iPad. So let's jump right into it. Alright, so we're going to open up the Affinity Photo app right here to show you what it looks like. Alright, now that we're in it, here is the starting page. You have a little gear where like it gives you all the information for it, but we're not going to jump into that too much today. We're going to open up these samples. So if I go to the samples, here are all the samples that they give you. So you can basically see that they give you a lot of examples so you can see what they've done with the app itself. So we're going to open up the animal one. So I'm going to go back and open it right there. So I'm going to go to the bottom right area where there's a question mark here and hold it down so that you can see what this Affinity Photo provides. So as you see, it has the view tool, move tool, color picker, the fill tool, everything in between on the left side, and on the upper side it gives you the commands, the document, the photo selections, liquify. On the right side you got your layer studio. So we're gonna actually just go into layer studio right away so you can see how it looks like a traditional Photoshop kind of style app. So there you go. Right there you have all the layers that they have used for this example. So I'm gonna just kind of start turning them off one by one so that you see what it all does and how much layering they did for this sample that they provided. So we'll start turning it back on, so one by one. And it's pretty cool because it gives you a lot to work with. So that's a very nice thing already. You got your little color studio area right here, so if you want to check out colors and do a little bit of gradients and everything like that, you can. You got your brushes right here, so you can import your own as well. So these are all the brushes that I currently have on here. Not too many, but just enough. And if you go right here with this like three line right here, you can see where there's like the import brushes and everything of that. But so you can import your brushes, but we don't need to import any brushes right now. So I'm just going to kind of close that out. Here is the selection area. So if I hold down the question mark again, you see everything that you can do with that. It gives you the view tool, move tool again, but it gives you the smart selection brush tool, freehand selection tool, rectangular marquee tool, flat selection tool. So that's pretty cool. And then it gives you the liquefied thing, which is very cool because if you want to obviously kind of bend anything that you need to transform it to look how you want it to, you can. So we're gonna go exit out of this real quick, and we're gonna import one of my own photos just to show you how the import process works. So I'm gonna hit that plus sign right there. These are all the things that you can do. You can obviously make new documents and everything. So we're just gonna go import from photos, recently added. We got this little deer photo that I took when I was going on a walk with my dogs, and this deer came up to us and got to take a cool photo of it. So if I pinch it with both my fingers, as you see right here, you get to see that I can move and zoom out and move like the photo however I want to. So that's pretty cool that you can use, very friendly, like with your fingers and the Apple Pencil if you have that. So right now I'm gonna add a layer. So I go to the layer panel right here and then add the plus sign to add a pixel layer. So we got our pixel layer. I'm gonna select our brushes, and right now I have a fog brush set up. So I'm gonna change the color to white, and I'm gonna do the opacity, probably let's go with 46. That's fine, it's not that big of a deal. So I'm just gonna kind of like start kind of, you know, painting around, and so that you see what it can do. So it's pretty well how it works. I mean, you can do a lot with this. So obviously if I wanted to go with more different types of brushes, if I wanted to do a luminance kind of brush to add a light speed, let's just say for whatever reason that I want to do that, well, boom, you know, you start adding, or you start adding kind of like a little bit of everything with it. So, you know, it adds a little bit of something different with a Photoshop app. Another cool thing that you can do with this as well is you can do a lot of adjustments. So they give you a lot of adjustments. So if you want to add your LUTs, if you're only editing with Photoshop and that's your thing, well, you can do that, but it gives you a lot of different adjustments. So it's pretty cool that you can do a lot of different things with fonts and everything in between. So pretty much that's all I wanted to show you with this. So yeah, it's a really great app. So I think it's very useful and very user-friendly if you're pretty knowledgeable in the Photoshop world. So with that being said, this app is very great for how much you're spending on it. Obviously long term, you're only paying one-time fee, so whether you have to buy it for your MacBook and for your iPad or for your PC, it's still gonna be cheaper in the long haul versus Adobe Photoshop. And the cool thing about it is that they update it free as well. At least they have been doing that so far, and I don't think they're going to be changing that anytime soon because it's worked for them pretty well where people buy it. So hopefully they keep it that way. But for me, I've had this app for years, and they've had the upgrades that come with it. So like I said, they have the designer as well that's good for like kind of like Adobe Illustrator. So if you're wanting to dive into those, they're like both $10 anyway for the iPad. So good investment right there. So hopefully this helped you out to get a little bit more information for an alternative for Adobe Photoshop, and you like this video. So let me know your thoughts. Are you planning to try it out? Or are you wanting to get an alternative for Photoshop? Are you using something different? I would love to check out other softwares. I mean, it's always good to kind of keep your knowledge going. Right now I have a mix of Adobe and Affinity depending on my mood. If I'm traveling, I use my iPad only. There you go. So, but with all that said and done, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, share it with a friend, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.